Mohammed confirmed publicly what he had revealed privately to Asia in this hadith chronicled by Muslim, chapter 14, book 39, number 6757.
Allah's messenger said, "There is none amongst you with whom is not an attaché from among the jinn, a devil." The companion said, "Allah's messenger, is there a devil with you too?" Thereupon he said, "Yes, but Allah helps me against him, so I am safe from his hand, and he does not command me but for good."
The first thing that Team Islam did was to redefine its terms. Most bad things are considered good. For example, terrorism is good. So is jihad, holy fighting in Allah's cause. Stealing booty is good. So is incest, rape, and slavery. While we're on the subject of demons in Islam, I want to provide a variety of supporting confessions. The first is troubling because the Quran's initial revelation was a nightmare.
Bukhari, the Prophet said, "A good dream is from Allah, and a bad or evil dream is from Satan. So if any one of you has a bad dream of which he is afraid, he should spit on his left side."
Speaking of nocturnal deceptions,
Bukhari, the Prophet said, "Cover your utensils and tie your waterskins. Close your doors and keep your children close at night, as jinn spread out and snatch things. When you go to bed, put out your lights, for the mischief doer may drag away the candle and burn your house with you in it." Atta said, the Prophet actually said devils instead of jinn.
Occult soothsayers are demonic messengers. As such, Mohammed knew all about them.
Bukhari, the Prophet said, "While angels talk amidst the clouds about things that are going to happen, the devils hear what they say and pour it in the ears of soothsayers, as one pours something in a bottle, and they add 100 lies to it."
This next hadith should send a jolt of terror up every Muslim spine. Muhammad's Quran was recited in rhyme speech called Rijaz poetry. So were many of these hadiths.
Muslim, Allah's messenger said, "He seems to be one of the soothsayers on account of the rhymed speech which he has composed."
So would that make Mohammed a soothsayer, or just the father of rap? Bukhari tells us in Volume 4, Book 54, number 494,
Allah's apostle said, "When the edge of the sun appears, don't perform a prayer until the sun appears in full. And when the lower edge of the sun sets, don't perform a prayer until it sets completely. And you should not seek to pray at sunrise or sunset, for the sun rises between the two sides of the head of the devil, Satan."
In his witch doctor mode, the prophet proclaimed,
Bukhari, "Fever is from the heat of the hell fire, so cool it with water."
A devil must have disobeyed Satan's command, so?
Bukhari, the Prophet said, "A strong demon from the jinn came to me yesterday suddenly, so as to spoil my prayer, but Allah enabled me to overpower him, and so I caught him and intended to tie him to one of the pillars of the mosque, so that you all might see him."
With each satanic verse, Islam continued to self-destruct.
Bukhari, Allah's apostle said, "When the adhan,"
the call to prayer,
"is announced, Satan takes to his heels and passes wind with noise during his flight in order not to hear the adhan."
While Satan is an ass in the figurative sense, he lacks human anatomy and thus a digestive system and anus.
Bukhari, Satan circulates in the human being as blood circulates. I was afraid lest Satan might insert an evil thought in your minds.
While Satan hasn't circulated within anyone, including Mohammed, the damage he did was far worse. Islam corrodes its victims' minds so that they lose the ability to think rationally. Then moving from back to front and inside out, we find
Bukhari, the Prophet said, "Yawning is from Satan, and if any one of you yawns, you should check his yawning as much as possible. If anyone during the act of yawning should say, 'Ha!' Satan will laugh at him.
Our satanic journey continues with
Bukhari. A person slept in and missed the morning prayer, so the prophet said, Satan urinated in his ears.
If Satan and Allah were not the same, Satan would have no reason to be troubled by a Muslim missing a prayer to Allah. Not a moment too soon, our anatomical voyage ends with
Bukhari. The prophet said, if anyone rouses from sleep and performs ablution, he should wash his nose by putting water in it and then blow it out thrice, because Satan has stayed in the upper part of his nose all night.
If Mohammed had aspired to be nothing more than a witch doctor, his patience would have sued him for malpractice. How is it then that 1 billion people trust this false prophet with their souls? This next hadith requires some thinking. It opens with a prophetic order to protect the prophet's booty, and it closes with a conundrum.
Bukhari. Allah's apostle ordered me to guard the zakat revenue of Ramadan. Then somebody came and started stealing the food stuff. I caught him and said, I am going to take you to Allah's apostle. He replied, please don't take me to him. If you spare me that fate, I will tell you a few words by which Allah will benefit you. So then he said, when you go to bed, recite Ayat al-Kursi.
Quran 2:255.
For then a guard from Allah will protect you all night long, and Satan will not be able to come near you till dawn. When the prophet heard the story, he said to me, he who came to you at night told you the truth, although he is a liar, and it was Satan.
By this time, there were only Muslims in Medina, so the order to guard the storehouse means that the first Muslims couldn't be trusted. The thief couldn't be Satan, for why would a spirit steal food? Further, why would someone trust a thief, or Satan, to share Koranic insights? The referenced verse, Quran 2:255, says that Allah is God and that everything belongs to Him. Quoting it makes no sense if Satan is Allah's enemy. But it makes perfect sense if Satan is using Allah as a disguise. Yet by saying that it will protect one from Satan, it no longer makes sense. But speaking of senseless, how can one who told the truth be a liar? So I don't leave you in the same quandary Mohammed left his stooge. The answer is simple. Satan is everywhere in Islam. He is in the Quran, he is in the Prophet, he is in the bodies of believers, in their homes, in Mohammed's harem, in his booty. Satan is a liar, so each time the Quran says, verily, truthfully, truly, surely, the right path, or the true religion, rest assured, he's lying. There is a reason the Sunnah says,
Tabari, Satan cast a false Quran revelation on the messenger of Allah's tongue.
It's the same reason Surah 22:52 claims,
every messenger or prophet before you recited the message Satan cast into his recitation.